Hey, it's Arlesha. I'm a purpose-driven mover and shaker who embarked on a sabbatical for the first time in my career. Welcome to my first podcast. This season, I'm talking about what it means to be on sabbatical, to recharge your life, career, and purpose. Throughout each episode, I'll share gems and insights experienced from my first sabbatical journey in the hopes it'll inspire you to harmonize your life and ambitions. Let's get into it. Hello. Here we are, episode 3. I'm excited that you're joining me for this episode, and I hope the contents of this podcast is inspiring and motivating you just as much as it's motivating me. I've got to be honest. I have ants in my pants for the later episodes of this podcast, where I'm going to share amazing moments and stories from the trips I've taken while on sabbatical during my Eat, Pray, Love experiences. So stay tuned for it. For these earlier episodes, I thought it was important to spend some quick time on a few fundamentals regarding sabbatical, from knowing when to take a sabbatical to how to break down your time off for efficiency and maximization, whether it's for a multi-month sabbatical or a micro sabbatical, which is simply a shortened version of an immersive sabbatical. This episode, I want to spend some quick time talking the notion of the rest ethic. It sounds like just what it sounds like, rest ethic. Before diving more into this concept, I have a quick story to share. One Sunday recently, about 2 months ago, after a church service, I caught up with a dear friend, exchanging quick updates on life and filling him in on my time off. He volunteered a life nugget as we exchanged details on our week, and the nugget was so simple and yet enlightening and summing up a portion of my intentions for a sabbatical. He says to me, "You deserve to be on break. With the career you've had, you've earned the right." On my drive back home, I replayed the words spoken to me. I've earned the right. I'll add another layer to this. I've earned a right. I've earned my break. I've earned my rest. In my eyes, earning your right and earning your break is about having a work ethic established so that no one can ever come against your time of rest. No one can refute it. No one can say you don't deserve it. It's your work and impact speaking for itself. It's your contributions warranting your rest. In his book, Rest Ethic, Be More, Have More, Do Less, Dr. Sean Orr, that's ORR, describes rest ethic as one that offers you better health, more time to understand and pursue what you truly value, and a healthier relationship with work so that you can better meet the never-ending demands on your time and energy. He says, we can all experience this balance not by detracting from our work ethic, but by including a strong rest ethic, reads the book's description. I'll offer up my disclaimer that I did not read the book in its entirety, but it's a pretty self-explanatory concept, especially when we juxtapose it to what we know a work ethic to be. At this point in time of my career, I'm proud to share that my rest ethic is just as strong as my work ethic. It's been this way for some time. And I hope it's the same for you too, or at least you're in the process of aiming for that. Your rest ethic should be just as strong as your work ethic, especially when in the case of planning for any kind of temporary break from work or a career break. In fact, before you pursue a lengthy season of rest, you should aim to have a work ethic established as a kind of reassurance. That's a hill I am going to live on. I sound like a boomer when I say this, but I come from the generation that honors a work ethic. I'm a proud millennial. We are the generation of thought leaders and movers and shakers prioritizing work-life balance like never before. Here is an unpopular opinion. I'm weary on the idea of taking a sabbatical just for the sake of taking a sabbatical. I believe you should take every intentional break with a spirit of an earned right and an establishment of value. an establishment of value in your area of expertise or field. Every industry has its nuance, so I ask that you take my perspective in with the realities of your experience and your industry. But there's something about the confidence one has when you can pause things knowing it doesn't hinder your progress. It doesn't push you back. That's what work ethic and credibility does for you. That's the inherent benefit of having a work ethic. As a leader, you can rest assured. As an expert, you can rest assured. As a founder, you can rest assured. Even star athletes rest assured. Ever heard of the term load management? Obviously, I've worked in sports and for some time now with star athletes. I personally adore the notion of incorporating load management into my personal life. A sabbatical is essentially load management. In his book, y'all can tell I've been reading, The Discipline of Destiny, Ryan Holiday touches on managing the load, using examples from Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich and Major League Baseball legend Lou Gehrig. Greg Popovich's controversial 2012 decision to bench four of his best players after a six-game road trip, which included Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, wasn't a popular decision. Fans wanted refunds, and broadcast networks, which paid good money for those rights, were not happy either. Certainly, the San Antonio Spurs had a respectful work ethic, known for their sustained championship excellence. But Popovich's discipline of rest was a strategic long game, allowing his team to have enough gas to make a deep playoff run and ultimately, its players have longer careers. Now, rest ethic is normalized in the game today. When athletes opt out for rest during the later parts of the regular season, and you usually see this with athletes such as LeBron or Steph Curry, they'll call it something else, but it's load management. And while we as a society are debunking certain vocabularies such as hustle and grind, and I'm personally aiming to do the same, it doesn't take away from the fact that I honor putting the work in. I do the work. Some seasons of my career, I've worked hard. And other seasons of my career, I simply work smart. I put in the work regardless. Don't get it twisted. While I'm here encouraging you all to incorporate the notion of a sabbatical into your lives, it's a must that I emphasize that the prerequisite is establishing a work ethic, which then will inform your rest ethic. With a work ethic established, when you do decide to take a break, no one can take it from you. You've earned it. You've earned your right. And don't get it twisted. I'm not only speaking on the number of years you've put in at a particular company or in your industry overall. I'm talking about your impact. Recall from the previous episode that I recommend you take a sabbatical after your initial 10 years. Allow me to further expound on that. For most, depending on the field or industry, 10 years is often looked at as the minimum for expertise establishment. It's often a minimum years of experience for most senior positions. It puts companies and hiring managers at ease when sourcing talent for most senior positions. For many companies, that 10-year mark is an establishment of value. And frankly, having that marker under your belt as you grow as a professional gives you more confidence in your pursuit for future endeavors, which then gives you confidence for other things, such as setting your value in negotiations for new positions, going for that internal promotion within your company, or positioning yourself to start your own business or practice. With that 10-year marker, you earn the right to negotiate. You earn the right to position yourself for a specific clientele. But it's bigger than just earning the right. You've established your industry impact. Like the San Antonio Spurs, they earned the right to rest on the bench and manage their load. And again, there's nuances to everything. You can perhaps establish that much sooner, perhaps in 5 years, 8 years. Now, there is an exception to this. If your mental well-being necessitates that break, by all means, take the break or leave of absence where applicable and in the manner in which it fits according to proper policy. Another exception in which you don't have to earn anything for is your PTO bank. That's an employee benefit. You don't earn that. It's your automatic right. Use it up, people. We are talking long-term consecutive days off within an industry pause. I simply just encourage that you earn your right when taking pauses from your career. Achieve an anchor of expertise. And there's nuances to this. There's flexibilities to even the perspectives I'm sharing here. It depends on your industry and your career goals and objectives. You can determine what your mark of time for establishment is. The point of the matter is to keep this all in mind before deciding to embark on your pause. Pride yourself on your work ethic as you pride yourself on your rest ethic. If you like today's episode, feel free to download the episode and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on later episodes from this season and future installments of Hey, it's Arlesha. For more in-depth insights and gems, you can subscribe to my blog counterpart of this podcast. I'll be diving in a bit more on the philosophies of a rest ethic. The link can be found in the description below. Until next time, I am sincerely yours, Arlesha.